Welcome to the Rushmore Show, where we're diving into the delicious world of Christmas foods that make the holiday season extra special.
Get ready to savor the flavors of the top Christmas treats, from mouth-watering dinner items to delectable desserts, festive drinks, and more.
From the indulgent Christmas ham to the sweet joy of candy canes, our episode pays tribute to the festive foods that bring friends and family together.
Prepare your taste buds, subscribe to the channel, get ready to savor the top Christmas foods that fill our hearts and plates with holiday joy.
Get ready to feast, because the Rushmore Show starts right now! Welcome to the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four and nothing more, Kirk. It is right close to Christmas. Here we are in the middle of our Christmas episodes. And not only are we still celebrating Christmas, but we are on episode 99. What does that mean, Kirk? What's happening next week?
Niner.
What number did you call?
2, 4, 9, 5, 6, 7.
I can't hear you. You're trailing off. Did I catch a niner in there? Were you calling from a walkie-talkie?
Episode 100. Episode 100. It's 100, man. Can you believe 2 Christmases ago you were sitting here at my house talking about maybe doing a YouTube and we're going to do 100 episodes? I was looking the other day. Actually, there's about 185 different videos. And this is our 100th episode coming up. So it's pretty crazy to think that that's what we did in 2 years, but it's a fun ride, and glad you guys are here. And yes. What are we going to do today?
Gee, Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's not put the sleigh before the reindeer. Let's get to episode 99. We're going to have a special one. We love Christmas. We've been celebrating all things Christmas. I bought a hat that's 18 sizes too small. Kirk is wearing the whole getup today.
Wait. How about this one? Andy, this is a Journey Santa hat. Street Kids.
There you go. Little throwback action right there. We love Christmas because of the nostalgia that's tied to it. We talked about a couple weeks ago just our traditions, right? Things that we remember about Christmas. Last week we talked about our favorite Santas, which had I known you had this outfit, Kirk, I might have put you on my list. But I'll check it twice and I'll see you fit there. But this week, Kirk, we're going to talk about one of our favorite things. We were planning in November to talk all about food, but we're still going to talk about it today. Today, it's our top 4, our Mount Rushmore of Christmas food. Now, there's so many different ways we can go with this, right? When you think Christmas, a lot of people think the sweets, and obviously that's its own category. So many great treats and things like that. But there's some savory things too, right? There's some other options that are out there that are considered Christmas. I'm excited to see where we go today. Kirk, what are you thinking about today for Christmas food?
Yeah, like I said, hey, fruitcake.
Hello? Hey, what's up there, fruitcake? I'm looking for paintwork.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man. We get a little fruitcake in there. I mean, it's not just what I want to give away.
Well,
I re-gift last year's fruitcake every year this year, so that's kind of how that rolls. But no, we're gonna do treats, sweets, food, whatever. What do you like to eat during the Christmas season? My list was fairly easy in the first 4. Benjamin's. Let's see what you guys got, and we'll see where it goes. So, speaking of you guys, we have a fun guest for 99, and I can't wait to announce him.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to our Rushmore of Christmas foods.
Let's get it. All right, Rushmore Show. It is time to get down to the food. Man, we've done Thanksgiving food. We've done summer treats. It's the winter time. What do you like to eat, Andy? It is here. And man, we have a great guest.
Well, it's fitting. It's episode 99. So let's bring on our reigning MVP guest for his 9th time. And let's welcome back to the Rushmore Show. Paul Teagarden, what is up, brother?
Oh, what's up, man?
Hey guys, what's going on?
9 times. So every 11 shows you're on. Every 11. Yeah, I mean 99. Here we go.
You got to be sick of me by now, right?
Tom Brady. He's like the Tom Brady of the Rushmore Show. Like he represented a healthy portion of the
of the last decade of the Rushmore Show. Yeah. Well,
Y'all both hate Tom Brady though, so I don't know what that actually says about our friendship.
I was hoping you didn't pick up on that, Paul, but you know what? I hate to break it to you this way.
Do you like to eat?
I do.
Do you like Christmas?
Love Christmas, favorite holiday.
Perfect. Tell us about your Christmas, man. What's the plan this year?
No, I mean every year we kind of split it. We'll do one weekend with my family, one weekend with my wife's family. Christmas is also my wife's birthday, so we cut like half of the day. So like the morning time we'll celebrate Christmas, the afternoon we'll celebrate my wife's birthday.
That's awesome, man.
So it's packed.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to feel about people that have birthdays on that day. Like growing up as a kid, did you feel gypped? Did she ever feel gypped having the same birthday as Jesus?
I don't think her parents ever did it, and I refuse to do it. I don't do the Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday gifts. You know, like you get your own time. So, you know, there's the morning, there's Christmas gifts and everything. And then the afternoon, we're going to do the cake and the ice cream and your birthday presents.
Nice. Well, that's good to know. So look, hey, we are talking today about food. Growing up in Louisiana, right? We are known for food here. I mentioned it 2 weeks ago that one of my favorite traditions is kind of the unique food that you can eat on a Christmas. So there's your standard, your typical things that maybe some of us will mention today, but there's some things that are going to be, you know, traditional to geographically where you're at, right? Now, a lot of us kind of in the same area, but I know Summit Squad, if you're watching this from another part of the country, there's probably things we've never heard of that you do for Christmas. So make sure you're dropping those in the comments, having some conversation with us. I love to adopt new types of foods. Anyway, so with all that said, I think it's time for us to get into our Rushmore. So Paul, we're going to start with you as our guest, as we always do here. What were you thinking? You know, I guess criteria wise, I don't know how much criteria goes into this, but what were you thinking when you were putting your list together?
Initially I was thinking, man, how am I going to come up with 4 things I can relate to Christmas? But I've just started to think back on the things that I've actually had. You're not going to get eggnog out of me. I hate it. Get that crap out of here. So it's just the things that I like and I have memories of having either on the eve or the Christmas day.
I love that. Nostalgia ties right into childhood and growing up and all that kind of stuff. So this is what we're all about. So fantastic. And let's get started. Let's go with the Rosie, man. I know it's not eggnog. Obviously, you've made that clear. But where are you going with Rosie?
All right. Rosie, we're going to go with the only thing on my list that's not actually cooked. This is a polarizing thing. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I love it. We're going with the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes.
Of course you are. Let's go.
Fantastic. Tell us about it. Educate the people.
Man, they're so good. I don't care. You can tell me all day they're the same as zebra cakes or anything else. You're lying to yourself, all right? There is some kind of Christmas magic in these things. They're just a little bit fluffier. The icing is just a little bit sweeter. It's just better. And it only comes around
small
this time
little
of year.
bricks of sugar that are on top of it. That's not on the zebra.
So yeah, that's the Rosie there. I'm unashamed. They actually come in like big jumbo packs now. Same big box. But there's only 6 of them, but they're like this big and they're delicious.
Well, listen, here's the thing. You don't have to apologize to us for your pick. This is a safe place for all the little fans. I'm all about it. Now, here's the thing. I am an avid zebra cake fan too. So I'm not knocking the zebra cake, but I agree with you. It is not the same. Here's the science to it, and this is what I figured out over the years. Because of the angles of the tree, there's more corner pieces, which is the best bite of a zebra cake and the Christmas tree cake. So scientifically, surface area, you're going to get a lot of differences there. Plus, like Kirk already said, those chunks of just crunchy sugar on top. This is delicious. This is chef's kiss. Here's the thing. It's off of my Benjamins, and you'll get it when I get to my list why. But I mean, I love this pick. Thank you for taking this one.
So I'm thanking you too. It's my number 5. It was my number 1 Benjamin. I knew it wasn't going to make it there. I knew I was probably, if it made it there, I'm fighting for somebody to steal it and hoping it's my turn first. But I will say this. Have you had the Christmas tree cakes ice cream yet? If you have.
I have, and I'm not as big of a fan. Like,
my God, you crazy. Dude,
it misses the mark, man.
I ate it just like that. It's so good.
I mean,
it didn't. If you blindfolded me, I couldn't tell you that it was the Christmas.
What?
It's good ice cream.
But ice cream's a lot like pizza in that even whenever it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Yeah,
it's really hard to screw up ice cream.
Out was like, make sure you save me some of that, and she came back out and it's like, it's gone. Whole thing. Boom. I had it. It's money in the bank. Anyways, money in the bank ladder match. Love the Christmas cakes. That's a great pick. Kind of sad you took it, but I'm glad you did. So, all right, I think it's my turn, right? Yeah. So, as I'm resetting, here's the deal. My house. If you go back to a couple weeks ago, talking over traditions. My house, we didn't do Christmas dinner when I was younger. Okay. We did like hors d'oeuvre bar, snack bar, lots and lots of treats and candy. Candy was always out throughout the season. Different kinds of candies, the heavy hitters, but some that my mom always got. And then there were always like these hors d'oeuvres and stuff. And everybody brought like a small plate of something like a chip or a dip or whatever. And that's what we did on Christmas Eve night. Now going to the in-laws' house, right, has been the modo operandum, if you will, for my family. But the problem is that kind of trend was really stopping as I was starting to have an in-law, if you will. And so my family always did that. But by the time I was doing it, it didn't really happen that way. Now, nowadays, we have dinners and we have those things. So there might be a few things that I sprinkle in from nowadays. But if I'm looking back, most of my stuff is nailing what I'm thinking about Christmas Eve. Right. So most of those things, if I'm being honest, we're going to be those things from Christmas Eve. But right off the bat, I'm going to give you the number one thing that I think needs to be at every Christmas dinner, and it's the honey baked ham. Brittany's grandmother sends us a large gift card from Honey Baked Ham to buy one ham for the whole family. And we've been getting it spiral cut, full on glaze, the whole 9 yards now for 15, 20 years. It is the staple of our family. And it's the one thing I look forward to that is dinner, if you will. So, I'm going honey baked ham, right? I know it's not the popular choice as far as like some of the other things that we could have picked as far as Christmas goes, because it's kind of a Thanksgiving thing. It's kind of a whatever. To me, it's a staple. It's a part of the tradition now. Got to have it. So that's going to be my Rosie.
I love this. I am always team ham when it comes to it. I mean, Christmas to me is more ham anyway, but even for the Thanksgiving, I'm team ham. I love this pick. You're two home runs right off the bat with the Christmas tree cake and the ham. I love where we're going this. Now you mentioned it. So you do the glaze and everything on it, right? You're pro that.
Full on glaze.
What about the pineapples and the cherries? How are we feeling?
If I made it at home, like my mom used to make it at home, pineapple cherries were on it all the time. I'm eating them right off. Hot fruit, dude. Mm-hmm. Hot fruit. But from honey baked, it doesn't come that way. It doesn't come that way. So
I do a ham, and in fact, we have our youth group Christmas party is next week. By the time you're watching this, it's this week. Either way, I do a ham every year where I rub it all with mustard, brown sugar all around it, and then I put Coke in there, and I let it.
Right,
cook
and I had mentioned to you last week we did root beer or Dr. Pepper.
Or root beer, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Any kind of cola, sugary kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. So, Paul, you on Team Ham? What you feeling about this one?
Excellent pick. Look, turkey, that's for Thanksgiving. Ham, that's for Christmas. Anyone who's trying to shove a turkey in my face on Christmas can get out of here. It's ham every year.
Well, I mean, this is also kind of polarizing. Thanksgiving for me is ham and turkey. It's both, and then Christmas. I've never had a turkey for Christmas. I've always thought it should be there. Christmas vacation. Well, I mean, but like I never had a turkey for Thanksgiving. So the Christmas bird. Yeah, not Thanksgiving. But you know what I mean?
You can do a roast goose.
Roast
Rah.
Now look, hey, have you guys had the turducken yet?
I have. I'm a fan of it. It is good. I've only had it like once ever.
I've only had it once too, and it was phenomenal. Which, if you are not from the New Orleans area, that's a big thing down there. Just ask Joe Madden. Just ask John Madden. Jeez. Boop, boop, boop. Santa came. All right. So, Andy, what you got? Give me what you got.
So, here's the thing. Criteria-wise, my 4 had to be things that I'm only really eating at Christmas time, right? There's a lot of things that maybe you could find in the picture other places during the year. But these are, to me, again, personally, just going to be had during Christmas time.
So
can you legally have it all the time? It did. And that's why I didn't make my list, but I love the pick, again, for criteria-wise. So all of these things you can have other times, but I don't ever have that, and it kind of seems weird to have it at any other time of the year other than Christmas. That's kind of what I was thinking. So to get started, my Rosie, maybe I'm cheating a little bit, and that's okay because I took the whole food world as a very broad topic. Okay, so this is something I'm consuming, right? And my Rosie, my number 4 coming in hot is a nice cup of hot chocolate.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go hot chocolate. And you can't really see in here. I'm gonna pour it out everywhere, but gotta have the marshmallows. Here's the thing: can you have hot chocolate other times of the year? Yeah, but it's a little weird, right? Like, when do you really ever see hot chocolate advertised other than Christmas time? It's really the only time you see this happening. There's so many different beverages you can pick. I'm only going to pick one on my list as far as for Christmas. I don't want it to be too liquid heavy, but hot chocolate, I can have about 5-6 cups of this stuff and feel great, right? There's other things like apple cider. I love apple cider. I'm a big fan of it, but I'll have one cup of it and I'm good. I'm cool, right? But I can keep it doing hot chocolate. There's something about sitting down, watching a Christmas movie with a cup of hot chocolate is just fantastic. It's like, I never want hot milk ever other than Christmas. Hot chocolate milk. That's basically what it is. That's all we're doing, right? I never have said, oh, give me a glass of chocolate milk and put it in the microwave for a minute, right? It never happens.
Yeah, so, unless you're Cannon. Cannon had hot milk all the way up until he was like 6, or 7. Hey, so let me just jump in. This is number 2 on my Benjamins. And I actually went even further than that. And I said the hot chocolate bar, because the hot chocolate is perfect. I can have hot chocolate anytime, and it's almost the whole anytime thing. I never make a hot chocolate bar or go to a party with a hot chocolate bar unless it's a Christmas party. And so, having the marshmallows and the peppermint sticks and white chocolate drizzles and this and that. So I had that on my Benjamin. I love this pick. I applaud it. I think you're kind of stretching it a little bit, saying it's only a Christmas thing for you, but okay. What your criteria, your own criteria. But
you have hot chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, I'll drink hot chocolate whenever. But here's also a polarizing thing: if you're doing it out of the packets, Swiss Miss or whatever, it's 2 per cup, 2 packets per cup.
Okay. Yeah,
all day,
and it's milk, not water. It's milk, not water.
I would rather milk. I would rather milk. Water will work. I would rather milk, though. I would rather milk.
Milk.
The only thing with milk is I feel like I gotta be like old grandma and just kind of skillet it in and stirring it and stuff. The microwave thing, that's just weird to me. I don't know.
Microwave. I really don't care about the microwave. It's fine either way to me. Paul, hot chocolate. Give me your thoughts.
I love hot chocolate. It doesn't only live around the Christmas time.
So here's what I want to know. When you're not drinking this in
Mary,
August.
did you know?
No, but I'm drinking it in January and February, when it's cold. It's not even cold here in December.
I drink it in the cold time. And if you would have said that, you only do it in the cold time, sure. I have coffee year round, but I only drink hot chocolate when it's cold.
It wouldn't be a Rushmore show without Andy being a little bit,
it's always
pushing the envelope.
It's always one of us. Ho, ho, ho.
If this is the most controversial thing that I say today, I think we've gone pretty mild. I've brought some tricks out of the old Santa's hat before. So
all right. Well, look, Paul, I think you're up, man. So let's get it. All right, Paul, we are up to our TJ Jazzy Jeff. You are up, and let's see where we go.
All right, so for this one, I'm gonna go back to the olden days, back when I used to live with the parents, and our big Christmas meal was always on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day you had the presents and football games were on, and all of that stuff. So something that really hits that Christmas nostalgia button for me is just the most unhealthy, delicious finger foods, man. Fried cheese sticks and the little weenie beanie sausages and the Southwest egg rolls. Just I'm lumping all that together. And that's gonna be my TJ Jazzy Jeff is finger foods.
I love this pick. My wife is a huge fan of party food. Like that genre of things. So finger foods falls obviously right into that. The meatballs and the crock pots, all of these finger sandwiches, everything like that. She loves. I don't know if we ever necessarily did this for Christmas. I would not be opposed to it though, because I'm a big fan of this too. One thing I'll say, and then Kirk, I want to get, because I saw your reaction to it. I think you like this one. I always find it funny with finger foods. Let's talk finger sandwiches, and I've said this plenty of times. 4 finger sandwiches equals 1 sandwich, right? That's how math works, right? But I will eat 8, 9 of those things, but never am I I could go for 2 sandwiches right now. It's never happened. But if
I might could go for 2 sandwiches, but I could eat, like you're saying, a baker's dozen of those little triangles, man.
Wait, explain to me what's happening. When you eat a sandwich, you only get 1?
No, I'll get 2. But whenever they're cutting little triangles, I'll eat 13 or 14 of them bad boys.
Right, but Andy, you only eat a sandwich in a sitting?
Well, if it's together. No. If it's finger sandwiches, I'll eat 8, 9 of those things.
Right.
But
I want to go back to the thing you said, you never eat 2 sandwiches.
In one sitting?
Yes.
I'm not eating
sandwich hate here, right?
I've literally never made 1 sandwich without a second one. Ever.
I've never eaten
2 peanut butter and jellies, 2 ham and cheese, 2 grilled cheese, 2 whatever it is. I'm making 2. Unless it's a foot long.
No, it's always just 1. If it's on white bread, it's always just 1 sandwich.
Is it this thick?
No, it's just a standard sandwich.
2 sandwiches all day. Maybe that's why I'm fat. I don't know.
You're derailing us, Kirk.
Either way, the math doesn't work for me the other way around. So I love this pick though.
So
what you think about?
We're running out of time, but I will just say this. Gosh, this was on my Benjamin. This is 3 in a row that you guys have taken.
Oh.
But here's the thing. It's one of those hors d'oeuvres. And I will just say, you said all the finger foods, the weenies, the barbecue weenies, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm toothpicking 1,000 of those things. And then I'm sopping the finger sandwiches in that stuff. Like it was was our Christmas Eve dinner. And so, yeah, I'm all about it. So I'm scrambling to think about Benjamins right now because I am running out fast and I'm in trouble. But yeah, there you go. But I do have my next, you still haven't named any on my top. So we're going to go with my number 3, and it's there. It was on. So Andy, I sent you secretly, I shot you a message today. And in our first episode we did top 4 Christmas movies. And then the next week we just put a slide out saying what our top 4 Christmas candies were. And it was just Christmas candy. And this is on it. This was on that list. And I'm going with peppermint bark. Bro, I love some homemade peppermint bark. Now, look, I don't have homemade peppermint bark yet. My wife always makes some, but these little bad boys right here fit the bill until then. These Ghirardellis, but homemade peppermint bark, taking the peppermint, the candy canes, smashing them to death, making some white chocolate, milk chocolate, sometimes dark chocolate, whatever, putting that all in the pan, throwing that, sprinkle that stuff. You know who always made it for us was Monica, Andy. Monica's peppermint bark was fantastic. Wife does it often. Peppermint bark, it's one of those things. When it's Christmas time, it's peppermint bark time. So there you go. That's going to be my TJ Jesse Jeff.
I love this pick. You're so right. It was a Benjamin of mine. I wanted so bad to get it in my top 4 because of how amazing it is. But I do have a little prop right here. So I got myself some peppermint bark today. So now I can eat it. Now that somebody has mentioned it, I appreciate that. Great pick.
Oh, man, I'm already struggling for Benjamins, and you took it the first one right off. So great pick. I love it.
Well, that's payback. I almost switched it to yours just so I could have it, and I'm glad I didn't because you would have stole it that one even later. Oh. So yeah, a bit of gamesmanship there. But yeah, I love peppermint bark. I love chocolate. I love mint. Fun fact, I think they both go together well. Omari and everybody else that doesn't like that. But I love it. I love it. I think it's great. It's a great candy. I don't feel like I'm brushing my teeth. But yeah, mint is a flavor of toothpaste. But yeah, I'm glad it's a flavor of toothpaste. It's not because I want to brush my teeth with it. I also brush my teeth with berry. So what does that say? So anyways, peppermint bark. Man, so Andy, you're up. We can just jump into yours and get this train rolling. Where are you at?
Yes. All right. So here's the deal. Another thing I'm thinking of, obviously things that I had during Christmas time, but a lot of these things are kind of near and dear nostalgia wise to me specifically. And this is not, I don't know if this is going to be a very popular one that many people did, but I couldn't go through Christmas without getting this. Now, you mentioned, family will make the peppermint bark, right? My grandma, she would always make this for our family, send this to us all the way from California. She would send it to us. And I am going to go with homemade fig cookies. Homemade fig cookies. Now I know you're thinking in your head fig Newtons, right? You're thinking fig Newtons. That's not even where it's at, right? I can't even find pictures of exactly what these things were like, but they were wrapped. They they almost looked like burritos in a weird kind of way. Like they were folded over, and then they had like the fruit fig kind of filling coming out of the sides, sprinkled with powdered sugar all over the top of those. She'd send it to us in the tin, right? The classic Christmas cookie tin that you would have. We would enjoy those. This is definitely on there. And again, as I said, I don't know how many people are going to say this same thing or even think the same thing, but because of my own nostalgia, because of my own memories associated with these cookies, I couldn't do the list without this. This is actually what kicked peppermint bark off for me, because it is a family specialty thing that happened there. That's where I'm going to go with my TJ Jazzy Jeff. I don't know if you guys, I
can't speak on it, but I mean, I'd love to have one. I do love Fig Newtons, but you said get that out of there. Tell me, what's it compared to?
It's more along the lines of, the thumbprint cookies. Some of like they're all different shapes, where it's got like the jelly kind of in the middle of this.
Circle. Oh yeah.
Some of them looked a little bit like that, but there was a bunch of different shapes in there. Like I said, there was. Now I'll try to find pictures that do it justice, but I mean, these were specific ones that she would make that I don't get anymore, right? Like it just doesn't happen anymore. So since she's passed away, towards the end, she didn't really do them all the time for us, but growing up as a kid, this was a staple. She didn't send gifts, but she sent this big old thing of cookies to our family. So I was a fan of this stuff.
Well,
I agree with Kirk. I would like to try one.
I wish I could get my hands on some now. I mean, maybe I might try to get the recipe from somebody and try to figure that out, but I don't know if that's even going to happen. So
yeah,
I know it's a little anticlimactic throwing it on the list there, but couldn't do one without it.
Yeah, well, I love that. I love it when it's more personal. This is our own personal Rushmores. But man, we have made it to halfway up the food mountain. And we need a little gravy boat to get around. Let's go. Look, but hey, if you've made it this far, stay until after this little commercial break. We'll tell you about all our friends at Culture Box. We'll be right back in 2 and 2. All right, Rushmore Show, you're back, where it's all about your top 4 and nothing more. I hope you enjoyed our Christmas commercial. If you love the nostalgia that comes from that, check our playlists out and drop in the comments your top 4 favorite things that you eat for Christmas. And hey, look, next week, episode 100, we're going to go through a whole bunch of just the last 2 seasons and hope you come and join us. But until then, I want to let you guys know about Culture Box. And Andy, who are we highlighting today?
We are going to talk about our friends who just joined us last week. Let's talk about them a little bit more. We want to hang out with Drew and Jacob again from the Celcast. So let me tell you all about the Celcast. The Celcast is hosted by Jacob and Drew, and they review animated movies and TV shows. They discuss what they appreciate about the medium in whatever form it takes, whether it is traditional hand-drawn animated movie, claymation shorts, or a 3D CGI series. Check out some animated reviews when you subscribe to the Celcast at thecelcast.podbean.com. And don't forget, Cell is spelled with a C and a single L at thecelcast.podbean.com. Yeah, so we got to hang out with them last week. You guys got to meet them again. Well, they've been on here now twice, right? And good friends of ours over at the Culture Box. So yeah, definitely go check them out on their website. I think they're actually right now, while we are recording, they are streaming a review of what? The Star?
The Star.
Star, yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing the Star.
So
well, look, let's jump into our second half of the mountain. Paul, you have a special guest there. Looks like Paul Jr. hanging out with you. And man, we're excited to have another Paul on the show. Tried to add him up in my head. I think that's now the 5th Paul that showed up on our show. We started out kind of counting them, but now, yeah. But let's go to Link, right, which is number 2. He's your number 2, I guess. But what's your number 2 food on the
All right. So for my Link, it would be, initially it was ham. You know, that would be a crush, and you can consider this a crush more if you'd like. But I actually have had what I'm going to pick before, and we just watched The Grinch last night, so I'm gonna go with some roast beef. Some prime rib.
Nice.
Yes. What'd you think
Prime
about
rib.
that?
So that was one of Clint's traditions, was some prime rib.
And I tell you, it doesn't happen very often, but I've had it once or twice for a Christmas meal, and it is so good.
Yeah.
It's a very Christmas meat. Again, it's one you can have whenever, but it seems to be very popular during Christmas. So
It's,
let me
it's so
ask
expensive. You got to break it out only.
for sure. Yeah. So are you team horseradish on the side of it too? I know that's a big popular accoutrement.
I will. Yes, I will. I've done that. I've done just, you dip your roll and all the juice that just I like meat, man. So I'll take most of it, however you want to give it to me. I'm a big protein dude.
Yeah, that's a great pick. That's a great.
I love prime rib. It's fantastic meat. It's fantastic. I love prime rib year round, but it has made its way to become a solid Christmas meal. I hear about it more and more often. I mean, like I said, Clint mentioned it last week, but Clint mentioned, I guess around this time it has a better price, which I never knew. That's cool to know. But yeah, great pick.
Got to get that roast beef in, man.
Yeah. And
I love it.
It makes you feel caveman-y, right? Like it makes you feel primal that there's just this big hunk of meat, right? And prime ribs typically not.
Oh, if it's cooked correctly, it's dang near raw.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I was going to say is that's how I take it, but I think that's how I've always seen prime rib, right? For whatever reason.
The best part about a good prime rib is, it's raw inside, but it's got that nice crust around the outside. Yeah. And then, mixed with a little mashed potatoes and put that gravy on it. Oh, I'm all about it. Good pick.
Money.
Well, look, I'm going to jump into my link. And Andy, I am not crushing, but I'm crushing with the idea of what you said last, your last pick there. I'm coming in hot. And if my family's watching this, they're going to wonder why it's not my George. But I'm going to tell you what, two things on Christmas Eve that we did. One, we waited for everybody to show up with the Christmas presents and, helping them get them in. I remember as a little kid, when they're going to be here, what time is it? We had to make sure every single person was here before we could open the presents. And number two, which was even more important than the presents, when's grandma showing up? Because you wanted to be the first one to see grandma show up, because when she showed up, you were going for the tin of peanut butter fudge. And you were snatching that bad boy up and you were running to your room, sliding that thing under your bed, hiding it up in the closet, figuring a way where you could keep everybody else away from the peanut butter fudge that grandma brought, because once they get into it, you're only getting one or two pieces and you want to be able to get as much as you can. I guess I'm telling you, my family's going to be like, why is this number one? Grandma has passed on. We have done the recipe. It never is the same. Grandma's got that certain kind of magic that they put on it. It's just not the same. But my grandmother, we called her Happy Bottom, but her name was Gladys. But her peanut butter fudge. Boom.
Yeah. How many times has this made it to the Rushmore Show? I mean, you've
I missed it in the peanut butter show, and then it's hit me, but it was actually on that slide. It was the George there, and it was on other show. So this is actually the third time it's been kind of mentioned. Probably should have been mentioned in that peanut butter, because I don't know why I missed it, but I missed it. But
we just in passing have talked about it quite a bit, and I know that. And for anyone who knows you, Kirk, knows that you are Mr. Peanut Butter.
I love peanut butter. Love it. But honestly, this is probably one of the main reasons I'm that way, is because grandma's fudge was that.
That's what I was going to ask. Is this the spark that lit that peanut butter fire in your heart?
Yeah. And Bucky's has a really good one. It has a really good one,
Yeah.
and it fits that that
Compliment?
absenteeism, but that little itch, but it's still not the same.
Yeah, it's funny. Like grandmas will do stuff like that, right? Like my grandma. This is the weirdest thing, and I know this is. Well, you can cut this if you want to. My grandma would go to her house and they would order Domino's pizza, and they would put it in their oven to like stay warm or whatever, and it did something. And pizza doesn't taste like that. And I'm like, you didn't do anything, right? Like I've had Domino's, like they did nothing about it. It was something about their oven. I don't even get it. There's a magic that they
Thousands
have.
of meals cooked in that oven, and all of that
Maybe
is
it just takes.
it's like a cast iron.
Yeah.
But
I will say
different
this:
oven.
my grandmother was a very blue collar, hardworking lady. She worked like the assembly line of like a jean company and Elmer's candy and did all kinds of stuff. And one of the things that my grandmother really was good at was a cook, and she cooked all that down south, good old Cajun Creole cooking. And this was her key dessert. And we just love it. We just love it. But anyways, all right, Andy, what's your link, man?
Yeah, so this I made my list way back, the list that you're mentioning that you've alluded to, that top candies. I'm gonna go here with this one. And I saw your message. I didn't reflect back on exactly where I put it on my list, but I do know that it was on my list, and I'm pulling up now just so I can fact check myself. I know it's on the list. Either way. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it was my number 2 on the list then. It's my number 2 on the list today. And I am going with my next prop that I have. I'm going with the good old-fashioned Hershey's Bells.
Ooh.
Okay. Here's the deal. They're just a Hershey's Kiss, right? But not.
No.
Very similar to what we said when we talked about is a Christmas tree cake a cake. It's not. It's so different. There's something about what happens to this bell curve right here that completely changes what's happening. Now, these are only happening during Christmas because obviously this is a Christmas special. This is for Christmas. It's the whole silver bells idea. I can't even explain it. There's such an I remember as a kid, you say that peanut butter fudge is why you got fat. It was Hershey's Bells. That I'm not even kidding. I ate 25 of these at a time. I mean, it's like I knew no limit when it came to these. However many came in the
no limit soldier.
Everybody at Christmas got the candy cane tube, the clear one that had either M&Ms, whatever in it. I always got the one that had the bells in it, and I ate that whole sleeve. It was one serving, right? These are fantastic. It's chocolate. It's Hershey's chocolate. I get it. But until you taste it and you know what happens with the ratio, you just don't get it. This is my link. This is fantastic.
I didn't know I needed this, but I need like some kind of government grant given to you so that we can figure out the science behind these foods and why they taste so good.
So I'm gonna just jump in. I had this on a Benjamin, and I can't believe they are falling like this, like crazy. I am in trouble. I am very much in trouble. I'm like researching as we go, because these are just special. I don't get it. It's just chocolate. It's just Hershey's. But I'm going to tell you, this is polarizing. I had this conversation with the science teacher just 3 days ago. He finds that regular Hershey's chocolate is garbage and it's overrated. And I'm like, bro, let me just tell you, you're not my friend anymore. I love just a regular Hershey's bar. I love Hershey's Kiss. I love Hershey's Bells. I love the milk chocolate Hershey's, because here's the thing. It is the standard around every one of their candy bars. It's in every one of them. It's on the Reese's. It's on the Reese's peanut butter cup. It's on the Snickers. It's on the Milky Way. It's everywhere. And it's the standard. And am I saying it's like some German, mixed in a vat? Like, no, No, but it is delicious. Delicious.
Any other additions for these bells?
No, man, I'm like I said, I need that study done. I need to know what form of different foods taste the best. So I'm gonna get that petition going, that signme.gov or whatever it is. We're gonna make that happen.
If you would sign that, if you're here for the scientific reasoning of good tasting food, put it in the comments. Sign the petition. The unofficial petition.
Sign the petition.
Starts in the comments. Right
there, so. Let's go. All right, man. So number 1, the George. Here's the big dog, the Jolly Saint Georgia. Where we going?
All right, so we're gonna semi-crush one with both of y'all. It's not fudge and it's not fig cookies.
Grandma.
But it's not even grandma. It's actually my mom. But she would always make these tarts from scratch, and they would have the thinnest little shell in like the tiny little cupcake molds, the thinnest shell from scratch. I would just eat that dough by itself, and it was so sweet and good. But then she would fill half of them with like cherries and cherry filling, and the other half with like a pecan filling. So it's nothing but tiny little pies. It's a little cherry pie and a little pecan pie that you could just pop in your mouth, an entire pie in the size of a bite. And it was amazing. And it's the thing that I miss most about not living at home with my mom. And she would only make these for Christmas, and it would take hours. I mean, a whole day she would do nothing but making these things, and she would give them as gifts to different people, but she would always make enough for me to just fat out. And that is my George. And they are the best.
Nice. So a couple weeks we've mentioned hot cherry pies through here. Hot fruit. I love this. Obviously every family, it's going to be specific when it's a homemade thing. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to take on different whatever. I've had similar things to this. I think I know what you're talking about with that little mini pie, but it's just like we said with the finger foods. I mean, how many of those pies are you just shoving in your, like more than a pie, more than you would eat in just a slice of a pie, right? I mean, absolutely. So this is a great pick. I love it. You can't go wrong with pie unless you're Randy. Sorry, Randy. I know you don't like pie for whatever reason. But
so Kirk, I just sent Randy a message and I said, Randy, I talked about you last week. Now we're talking about in 2 weeks in a row. And he said, man, I'm going to have to watch, buddy. Well, if you're watching this, Randy, we're glad you're back. We are glad you're back. But hey, I'll just say this, Paul. I don't know your mother, and I don't know the little tart pies, but I sure wouldn't mind meeting her because it sounds fantastic. I love pie. I like hot fruit. I love hot pecans. And it's pecan, not pecan. Unless you're talking about pie, and then I'll give you that one, but maybe.
Still pecan.
Yeah.
Pecan.
I mean,
I got pecans in my pantry, bro.
Oh, you know where pecans
Jolly
are?
Green Giant. Pecans.
You know where pecans are? Pecans are lined up around the old Lee Circle for Mardi Gras. That's where pecans are.
Those are pork bodies. Pecan.
Anyways, hey guys, well, it's my turn. It's my turn for my George, and well, let's just reset the old timer here. Well, it's my George, and we'll get started. And this one was hard. I'm going to tell you, I've adjusted some things as we go, just because knowing what's going on. I had to take one off, move it around, shuffle, whatever. I've moved things, but everybody knew that this was here. This is here. You should have known. I mentioned it back in traditions. It's the number one thing. It's my favorite thing to cook. It's my favorite thing to do, and it is my French toast that I make for the family every Christmas morning since me and Brittany got together, basically. It's what they want. I get up, we do the Christmas morning, we do it all. Here's the key. In my French toast, it's basically the old-fashioned just milk and eggs. But what else I put in there is a ton of sugar, a ton of cinnamon, a ton of brown sugar, and a ton of honey. That's the key. I mix it all together and blend it up, dip it in, fry that stuff on the flat top, and then serve with powdered sugar. And I'm going to tell you, you do not need syrup, but some people just have to. You don't need syrup. It's like candy. But that's going to be my George, man, is the Christmas French toast, man. And we can do that every year and any time, and I have, but it's a part of the tradition.
I second this pick. I've mentioned it. I am pro French toast, your French toast specifically. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe this is Mandela effect. Did you put peanut butter on it, or is that an option?
I have.
Yeah, exactly.
I have done that. I have actually made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with it. Yes.
My gosh, that's crazy. That would be fantastic. But I will tell you this: if you know Kirk, it's saying something for him to say you don't need syrup on it, right? Because one of the rules you live by is saying it's too sweet isn't a sentence you should say. So the fact that you're saying that should probably tell you all you need to know about this.
Hey, Cannon still puts it on there every once in a while, but I mean, it's covered in sugar. It's got sugar loaded in it. It is sweet. It is the epitome of a sweet breakfast. But yeah, I love it. And then sometimes you have a little bit of extra, and I actually make the eggs, just eggs with it. And it's fantastic. It is fantastic. Anyways.
All right. Paul, you a French toast?
That sounds so good. And anything that runs the risk of giving me diabetes off of one serving, you just shovel that right in. Man.
Yeah. The key is the honey. I started putting honey in it about 10 years ago, and it's freaking awesome. Yeah. So, and I missed this. A whole stick of melted butter is in there too. The idea is to get the butter infused in it, not just fried in it. It's the key. Anyways, Yep. So there's my George. Andy, you are up just in time for the new timer. Let's go. Let's finish off your mountain. Hit us with the George.
Yeah. So this combines traditions that we talked about 2 weeks ago in food together. I talked about it 2 weeks ago. I'm going to mention it again today. This is every single Christmas since I can remember. My family is doing this. This is a whole event. It takes a long time to put these together, and it takes about half of a second to eat them, right? And I'm going to go for my George with New Orleans style tamales. This is every single Christmas we're making these. They're tiny little tamales, right? It's meat with all these spices and seasoning. You toss it in this cornmeal mixture. You wrap it in the paper. You throw them all in this bowl together, pour all the sauce over it, let it steam all day, pull them out, and you just, oh my gosh, you just go to town on them. These are fantastic. It's, again, I'll say it like I said 2 weeks ago, when you're thinking tamales and you're thinking Latin America, it's not that. It's definitely not that. Okay, so it's different. There are actual New Orleans style tamales. We've made this every single year. I was actually surprised because I went into ChatGPT and I said, hey, give me the 100 best Christmas meals. I didn't say New Orleans. Tamales made the list, right? It was like somewhere midway through there. It made the list and it said tamales. Now, it didn't say New Orleans. Oh, there you go. Look, that's the Latin American one. But still, the fact that tamales are big, obviously, I think that's where we got it from. But yeah, New Orleans tamales has to happen every single year or it is not Christmas. So that's my
I've never had these tamales. I love tamales. Never had a tamale for Christmas, but you have mentioned this several times in the times that we've hung out for Christmas. Maybe one of these Christmases we hang out, you gotta scratch those up for us. But I would love to try that. Did you ever had these tamales?
Never had these tamales, but again, I would love to try them. Yeah. Here's the problem, guys, is I'm in the middle of intermittent fasting and I'm dying right now. Like, I don't get to eat again until like 11.
You volunteered for this kind of torture.
I know. So I'm struggling.
Yeah, I need it. That sounds like a January thing for me. Getting back into that. I've put on some LBs since Thanksgiving. I can tell you that. So, all right, man. So that's it. That is our show for today. but we still have a few Benjamins, and I'm struggling to get 4. I have 3. I think I'm going to keep all 3 of them because I'm pretty sure that it's a good list. I'm going to have to find one more though. Well, I'm going to find one more. Maybe you take one of them, but it is time for our Benjamins. So all about the Benjamins. Let's get it. Welcome back to our show, and it is time for the All About the Benjamins. And you know how we do it around here. It's Snake Draft. We go back and forth. We cannot crush. We cannot say anything we've said before. We can't say anything that we say from here on out. And we're going to go in the same order as we did before. So, Paul, you're starting. Paul, you're finishing. And we're going to throw some things in the middle. Paul, what is your first one?
All right, let me, I'm going to switch it up on y'all, and I hope it's okay. I haven't pre-okayed this with y'all, but I want to harness my inner Grinch here because I don't have enough that I like. I'm going to go ahead and Benny out some Ugmores, if that's okay with y'all.
Oh, okay. Okay, go for it, man.
All right,
I like
so
it.
Starting off,
I hate that you're
take that gingerbread and get it the heck on up out of here. I hate gingerbread houses. I hate how it tastes. Moving on.
So wait, so if he Ugmores it, then we can't say it as a Crushmore?
That's what I'm thinking, because now he's going to take things that he hates. So now we got to.
Then I'm going to go right now. Look, I've been drinking eggnog the whole night.
Dang it.
There it is.
Oh my.
There it is, bro. It was on my regular Rushmore, dude. Yeah, eggnog. I can't wait for it to show up. The minute it shows up, I got it, and I make it my own self as well. It's one of my favorites, eggnog.
Well, I'm just glad I get some back-to-backs to try to get some of these things out of here. Here's, okay, non-traditional for most of the country, traditional here when it comes, we said it gets cold only for maybe, 2 months here in Louisiana. You gotta fire up a nice pot of gumbo. Gumbo is where I'm going to go for Christmas food. Again, these aren't going to follow the same criteria. I'll eat gumbo every month of the year. It doesn't matter. And then next, let's go with that tin of Royal Dansk cookies. So you guys know what I'm talking about. There's some of them that are the pretzel shaped, but they have the crystallized sugar all around them. It's something about like
that's
Christmas.
The best one.
They're the best. They're so good, and they're all the same. But there's again the science behind eating it. Those pretzel ones are the best. So Royal Dansk cookies.
I have show and tell. I got it today from a student, and it's fantastic. I was holding for my Benjamins, but I'm going with good old Christmas crack. Christmas crack. Basically, it's a saltine cracker, brown sugar, butter, and chocolate all over it. It is fantastic.
I love that. Great pick. All right, Paul.
I would have never taken those for my Ugmores, guys. Those are all great picks.
Well, you would have took eggnog.
Well, eggnog, yeah. Eggnog, that was the next one going. So smart on you to get rid of that one.
Oh, please.
We're going to go.
I should have took it. Oh, my God, I should have took it.
We're going to go now with an easy one. I don't think anyone really likes this. Why is everyone handing it out? It's fruitcake. Fruitcake is awful. No one likes it. Get it out of here. All right. Second one. I like this almost any other time. Kind of mentioned it earlier though. So for Christmas, it's on the Ugmore. Turkey. Get it out of here. We just had it for Thanksgiving. We don't want it again. All right. Bye.
All right.
Oh, he's letting out some of his pent-up aggression from fantasy football this year out on the Ugmores is what he's doing.
All right. So This could be one that could be on an Ugmore because it's very polarizing. It was on my candy list. It was the thing that was in our Christmas. We had like these paper mache Christmas Santas, and Miss Santa had her apron out like this, and it was just filled with it all the time. And it was the Christmas nougat chews. They were mint and they were chewy, and people hate them. They were kind of like the Halloween red, orange, and black, but it's the Christmas version. Love them.
Yeah, I love this pick. Okay, so I got some more picks to go with, so I'm cool with that. I don't think I'm necessarily, I'm not really playing the game here because now I've got the rest. So let's go with something that just screams Christmas, even though non-traditional. Let's go with Chinese food. Just Chinese food. But if I'm gonna go a specific one, man, give me that carton of lo mein. That just for whatever reason screams Christmas. I'm gonna go there, and then for my final pick, kind of similar to the Royal Dance cookies, but Royal Dance cookies is specific. They're this tin. You all know the round tin, but I love the sugar cookies at Christmas time that have the green and the red crystallized sugar. There's something about those shortbread little sugar cookies that are just
from Dollar General. I think they discontinued those jokers.
No, not the ones that are like raw almost, not those ones, but the ones that look like bells or whatever. And
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, those.
So bells and Christmas trees, and they got hearts, and they got pumpkins.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There's something about all of that crunchy sugar on top. I love those things.
That's Brittany's favorite. That is Brittany's absolute favorite. All right, so look, yeah, it made it. I survived. Listen, so I'm going with every single year we make homemade sugar cookies for the Jolly Man. And we do it the night before, and everybody does their own cookie decoration. So it's kind of like Easter egg eggs, but we do the cookie decoration contest, the whole 9 yards, and that's what we put out for Santa for the night, and it's just a part of the tradition.
I love it. All
Great
right,
picks, man. Great picks. All right, now let's really Grinch this up here. Let's figure this out. All right. Now these are synonymous with Christmas, okay? They are one half of a delicious treat, but you can take the peppermint and that little candy cane and you can throw them in the fireplace, all right? Candy canes by themselves suck.
wow.
And with that, the Grinch is out.
Okay. Let's unpack that for a second. I know this is this round. I halfway agree with you. I know, as crazy as that sounds, I don't think they're horrible. I will say there's a lot of things that I'm probably picking before the candy canes. I like them enough though to keep them. So I'm here for it.
They're a decoration. They go on the tree, not in the mouth.
You know what's funny? So there's this latest now craze. Have you guys had all the air dry candies and everything, like the freeze dry candies? You seen those things? So it's like white people do this now. This is like a white people thing to do, is to dry candy. Like, who else would think to do this? We got some this past weekend. They freeze dried candy canes. It makes them better. They're so much better than they are. I don't know. They're soft. Anyway, it's crazy. So
put this on your list of stuff that you can find the science behind.
That is polarizing. I love peppermint. I don't love peppermint candies. Like, it's not one of my favorites, but I do like peppermint. And my favorite thing to do with the candy canes is to just make them till they're sharp as a knife. And
then stab your own taste buds.
Yep. Whatever. Hey, well, that's the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four. And For Paul, nothing more.
Nothing more.
So he had 4 today, but
Look,
hey,
Andy was tame, so I had to bring the fire.
yeah. So I'll just share with you that this was a hard one. It was fun, but man, what a great way to finish. We started the Rushmore Show off with Christmas movies around this time 2 years ago, and we're finishing off our second season with the 100th episode next week. Be here to see that. With a bit of luck, you'll have some hosts that you've seen before, kind of doing their thing, sharing their favorite thing about the Rushmore Show. Come along and share your favorite thing that you have been along with the Rushmore Show. If you're here, go down in the comments and tell us what your 4 favorite things for today's episode was, and share with a friend. Help us out. We are almost to 600 subscribers. We're trying to hit that illustrious 1,000. And look, hey, the cat's out the bag, Andy. I've been waiting for the announcement, and I just have to share with everybody, right? So coming up this spring, we are doing some conventions like we've done before. Here's the cool thing. On Sunday, we are dropping a bomb, and we are having church at the conventions, and we're calling it Reboot, an unconventional ministry. We're going to have church with our nerdy and geeky friends. And look, man, it's a dream come true to be able to use our platform to do this for Jesus, but also with friends. Look, God's told me to reach the abandoned, the afflicted, addicted, and the alone. And Andy, I realize that's exactly the folks that go to these conventions, and that is exactly why I love it, because it's me. And so I love the opportunity, Davey and Ben, for giving us a shot there. We got some other people inviting us. We got some guys coming on the show that have done this before. So, man, we are super excited. Andy, I know you're excited. Been shooting you different logos and stuff. I'm excited to announce all that stuff. But yeah, I had to get it out. It's going to be called Reboot, man. And so come show up Sundays at the conventions and hang out with us for a little nerd in the word. Andy, what you think about that?
I've been sitting on it for a while, so this is a fantastic opportunity. It's really, we've shared it plenty of times where we are Christians who have a YouTube show. This is not necessarily a Christian YouTube show, but if you watch us long enough, you know that we've talked about it, we've shared it, we've been very open about our faith, and it'll be really cool to, again. We're coming up on 100 episodes. I love everything that we do, Rushmore Show. This is a blast. I love hanging out, meeting new people, networking, bringing Paul on, every 11 episodes or so, like being able to hang out and talk. But what I love more than any of this is I love Jesus, and I love being able to share it with people who don't know or who are interested, or who just want to hear about the hope that I have and the faith that we have. To me, and this is the last thing I'll say, because we'll talk about this plenty in the future, I'm sure. I never thought that Rushmore would get to 100 episodes, to 2 years of doing this. Like, this is crazy. Like, we never in a million years thought this was going to happen like this. But I definitely never in a million years thought that it would lead to an opportunity for us to share our faith. I mean, just so many things God has done along the way through this show that he just continues to show up and show off, and I love it. So I'm looking forward to it. I know you are. Like you said, hey, if you're out there at the conventions, and look, even if you're not a believer and you just, like, maybe you're curious, maybe I don't know, you're seeking something, right? Just come hang out. I'd love to pray with you. Love to share my faith with you, and if you would love to be a part of that too. So anyway, love it. Very excited.
Yeah, man.
If I could just say too, like, as much fun as I have doing this, coming to know Jesus and find him and to believe in God has been the single most important thing that I've ever done in my life. And that conversation, whether you believe or you don't believe, is the single most important conversation that you would ever be able to have. So definitely come out and talk to these guys. And
Here's the good news: is we weren't always saved, Paul. We're not coming from that space. We've always been nerds and geeks and fans of music and video games, and we've all been that. But we weren't always of the faith of the cloth, and we've made that turn. And just like you said, it's a big deal. So hearing it from us and just hearing our journey, that's one of the big things. Hearing our path and how we got there and what we did is a major turning point for some people, because a lot of people can't understand how they can have a fandom, if you will, like Hector would say, faith and a fandom, but have like, I have to get rid of this to do that. And God is a very inclusive God, but he's a just God. But I can't wait to share just some practical ways with our friends who are probably pretty church hurt. And so it's an opportunity. Both of them are doing Sunday opportunities at the convention. And I just kind of, shot my shot right there, like, let's see what's going to happen. And they both were like, well, one was like, yep, I'm in. And the other one thought about it. And Davey sent me a message and he's like, bro, I am so in. I can't wait to talk about it. And I was like, let's go. And I sent it over. But look, we've talked about it enough. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. If you're still here, go down in the comments right now and just find a way to love on somebody, because that's what we're all about. And guys, Merry Christmas, and see you on episode 100. Andy, time to tell our friends good night for the 99th time.
Wow, 99 times. Here we go. I got 99 goodbyes, and never mind. Here we go. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top 4
and nothing more.
Peace.